Happy greetings to everybody. Welcome to one and all. I'm very happy. I'm a trainer. My name is Uma, and I'm very happy to be back on our Heartfulness community channel where we share the teachings of the great elders of the Heartfulness way. And by understanding the teachings and by practicing the teachings, we try to bring about a transformation inside ourselves. And that is what this program is about, discovering the new you. The new you is within ourselves. We need to discover it. If you want to find something, you have to dig deep. How do we find the water in the well? We have to dig. So, also, with the help of the heartfulness teachings, with the understanding, after understanding the teachings, as we practice, we go deep into ourselves, help ourselves by removing the weeds on the path, and thereby discovering the path itself. So, the 10 maxims, as they are called, of the heartfulness method, the Sahaj Marg way, are akin to the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, especially the 5 sutras. If we are able to practice these 10 maxims, we will be able to cover the yamas and the niyamas. So, Babaji Maharaj, in his simple words, in his simplicity, put these principles in such a way that ordinary people like us can understand. So, we have tried to understand the first two maxims, which is to rise before the dawn and offer your prayer and puja, the meditation, at a particular time before the sunrise, and paying attention to a separate place for meditation, and giving special attention to the purity of the body and the mind. That was the first maxim. So, rise before dawn. And the second maxim was about begin with your meditation with a prayer for spiritual evolution. So, in the morning when we wake up, we have to remember why we are meditating. We are meditating for the spiritual evolution, and offer your prayer in such a way that is the heart is filled with love. So, until and unless when we are offering the prayer, our heart is filled with this positive feeling of love for our goal, we do not truly achieve the goal. And today we will explore the third maxim, which says, fix your goal, which should be complete oneness with God. Rest not till the ideal is achieved. So, if you observe Babuji's statements, his instructions are very clear. So, the goal is fix your goal, which should be complete oneness with God, the ultimate. Lot of times when we are walking on a spiritual path, in the beginning we don't even know the goal. Our goal is just to go to the physical presence of the Guru. Sometimes we are content with taking a picture. Sometimes we are content with he just smiles at us. And we are so charmed by the divine presence that we long for that. In the process, we have forgotten the goal. And that is why revered Daji has been very strict with all of us in the sense trying to divert us away from this physical attention of the teacher on his followers. Most of humanity gets stuck in this process of the physical presence. And in the very third maxim, Babuji very clearly is instructing each one of us, fix your goal, which should be complete oneness with the ultimate divinity, the source, God, the latent motion. from which we all came from. So fix your goal to the highest. And once we fix that goal to the highest, then we make the right efforts. I read a Sufi story where the mullah is searching under a lamp and everybody starts to come help him. And nobody can find. They ask him, "What did you lose?" "I lost my ring." And one fellow was smart enough to ask, "Where did you lose?" "Oh, I lost it in the other room." "Then why are you looking here?" "Oh, because there is light here." That is the state of human beings. Where did we lose the goal? In the heart. Where do we need to look for the goal? In the heart. Where are we looking for the goal? We are looking for the goal in the outside rituals, whether it be the worship on a temple or a mosque or a church or a guru's physical presence. That is why we are not reaching the goal. Yes, we worship God in the temple. Yes, we worship God in the physical presence of the Master. But first of all, we need to fix the goal to know where that presence of that ultimate is. That is what fixing the goal is. And without fixing this goal and having the right method, we never reach the goal. Even Nanak Ji gave a good example. He goes to Ganges. Everybody is offering the water to their forefathers as tarpana, as it is called in Hinduism. And Nanak Ji is taking the waters and throwing in the opposite direction, mumbling something. And one man says, "What are you doing? You are throwing in the opposite direction. You are supposed to throw in this direction to reach your forefathers." "And what are you mumbling?" He said, I'm saying that may this water reach my fields. They are 200 kilometers away." And everybody starts to laugh at him. And he says, "Why are you laughing? You are throwing water and thinking where your forefathers are, somewhere. They have passed away so long ago. And you are thinking that it is this water is going to reach them and liberate them. If the water is so powerful and it can liberate the forefathers that are so far away, can this water reach my fields?" So he was awakening his disciples. The method has to be correct. So the masters always give the right guidance, right directions. It is up to us to catch that vibration clearly. So, in the very first statement here, Babuji Maharaj says, "Fix your goal, which should be complete oneness with God. Rest not till the ideal is achieved." So, let us explore on this maxim and understand the great teachings of the elder so we can imbibe those teachings, implement those teachings, and make their dreams come true of arriving at that goal. Let me share my screen here. So, Maxim 3 says, "Fix your goal, which should be complete oneness with God. Rest not till the ideal is achieved." Same thing Swami Vivekananda ji said, "Arise, awake, and rest not till the ideal is achieved." So, Revered Daji says, "Begin with the end in the mind." This fixing the goal is you have to see yourself, even when you are having a mundane goal of losing your weight. You have to see yourself 20 pounds less before you start this diet, before you start the exercise. When you see the goal already, it starts to manifest. And that is why even the trainers in the Heartfulness way are instructed when they begin the meditation session. They begin the session with the idea the sitting is already complete by the grace of the Master's transmission and His grace. It's already complete. And then they begin the work. So, this habit is the ability. This habit is the ability to envision in your mind what you really want or want to be, or even though you cannot presently see it with your eyes. And in yogic literature, it is known as kalpana, creation, imagination. God is known as the creator. And in according to neuroscience, when you dip your mind in the silence, the frontal brain regenerates new cells, and it is all about mental balance, emotional stability, and creative abilities. So that speck of divinity, the creator, exists in us. And that ability is called kalpana, imagination, creative ability. So this habit is the ability to envision in your mind what you really want or want to be, or even though you cannot presently see it with your eyes. In yogic literature, it is known as kalpana. And it is based on the principle that what you create in your mind is what finally manifests in your life. It is your thinking. In one of the sessions, we understood when you give a thought from this point A, it is received by the source, and the source gives it back multifold. And that's how you create your neural pathways, suggestions, intentions, kalpana. So, what you create in your mind is what manifests in your life. If you do not consciously envision what you want to be, then you will be shaped by the influence of others and the environment. So be clear about your goal. What is it that you want out of this practice? And it is essential to fix the thought at the very outset, in the very beginning. That is why Babaji recommends this in the very first thing in the morning. In the modern language, it is called the morning dumps. Whatever you dump in the morning, whatever you suggest to your mind in the morning. That is why we even begin with the Sankalpa. This day is unfolding in the highest good. I am flowing through this day, accepting everything with love, joy, and gratitude. After our morning meditation, we begin the day with positive intentions. So it is very essential for everyone to fix his thought at the very outset upon the goal which he has to attain, so that his thought and will may pave his way up to it. So, when you have a goal, your thought and your will create a path for you. A path is automatically made because you have begun, you know what you want to be. And those who did not fix the goal remain short of the mark, for they mistook one or other intermediate states as the final goal. And this is what happens to all of us. When we did not fix the goal, what happened to us? We thought going to the Guru's presence is my goal, getting a blessing from him is my goal, getting a prasad from him is my goal, and we were content with it. And then our sadhana only became a mundane ritual, because it is like going to a temple or going to a church or going to a mosque, getting some blessed food and coming back. Then when you go to the Guru, there is no difference. But if you have your goal fixed in your heart, when you go to his presence, the latent motion in your heart stirs up the superconscious state of the Guru, and his condition starts to flow into you. So, unless you fix your goal, you cannot truly receive from the master of the caliber. That is why, even when we go to the sacred presence of the great elders, which is very important, if we go with the goal in the mind, what we benefit is immense. So, what is the helm? In the spiritual field, the helm is our strong determination, because helm is the steering of the boat. This boat of our life, we need to steer it, and you need to steer it to the right destination. So, in the spiritual field, Babaji Maharaj says, a strong determination is what helps us steer towards the destination. And what is the other things that help? The strength of the will and confidence will help us overcome the obstacles to arrive at the final destination. The will is our will, as well as the Guru's will. Confidence is in ourselves because we have a Guru who is holding our hand, and we have to have confidence in him. Like when you are climbing the mountain and this is your first time, you are tied with a rope to the guide who is moving forward, and he is gradually pulling you up. And you are able to take step after step because you know you are tied to the Guru. You are tied to the guide. So you know you can climb this mount as long as you have the will that, yes, I want to reach that peak. And yes, I have a guide who is strong and capable and take me forward. So all these qualities are absolute necessity to reach that final destination of mergence with that ultimate state. What is the primary duty of man, according to revered Babuji and Daji? To reach the infinite absolute, this absolute balance, the state of the ultimate, is one of the final duties of man. That is why we take birth. We come into this earth plane to get rid of these impressions, become lighter and lighter to reach these finer stages of spirituality. But as long as the goal is not fixed in one's thought, it is very difficult to complete the journey successfully. So, in so many words, Babaji Maharaj is emphasizing this concept that you cannot reach that infinite absolute until and unless at every moment you keep seeing what your goal is. To become aware of such an all encompassing goal requires knowledge and discernment about the purpose of human life, says Revered Daji. So, how do we acquire knowledge? That is where reading the books can help us. How do we acquire this condition of viveka or discrimination or discernment? With thorough practice, as we journey through the region of the heart with the help of the transmission, with the help of the cleaning that is done by the living guide of the heartfulness way. As we fix our goal, as we move forward, at every chakra, as we get absorbed, we acquire the knowledge. And as we master each chakra and we arrive at that state of pure seeing, of mastering the fifth point, which is all about viveka, discrimination, wisdom, pure seeing, then our goal becomes even clearer. That is why from day one, if we fix the goal, as we move forward, and once we arrive at this state of pure seeing, our vision is clear, our goal is fixed. And divine help. Divine help does come only when the Supreme is convinced of the devotee's earnestness of purpose. You know, the divine master, the inner master. That is why Babaji said it is very difficult to please the inner master. You can please the physical master. You can give a gift and he will probably smile for our foolishness or for our love. It doesn't matter. But the inner master, it is very difficult to please. The inner master will only respond to us when his heart is convinced of the earnestness of our purpose and with how much dedication we are doing the sadhana. So, this kind of earnestness of purpose is a stir in our heart. This, when creation happened, there was a stir in the center. That is a pralaya. And from there we came. So we have to create an inner pralaya, an inner stir to go back to that center. And that is what pratyahara is all about. Diverting the senses from the external world to that inner sacred state of being is pratyahara. And that is a stir that you have to create. How do we create this stir? When there is a longing for that divine state. So, when the reaction creates a stir in the infinite, when you are craving, it creates a vibration inside you, a pralaya, a storm inside you. That vibration is felt in the consciousness of the Guru. That is why Babaji Maharaj said, When somebody is craving, he sees bubbles, and in that he sees the faces of the being. So it depends on us to create this stir and this craving, this longing for that infinite absolute goal. So when the reaction creates a stir in the infinite, it indicates that he has concentrated his thought in the great being. So now, when we are fixing our goal, our thought is on the superconscious field of our guide, because that is the only presence we know, which is akin to that divinity. So that being now feels us. This brings the example of lover and beloved. Now, because the beloved is able to feel our love, the longing, because we have fixed our goal, then there is a response from his heart to our heart. And we have to keep this longing alive. A lot of times we get stagnated, we get involved in other things, we get involved in self pity. We all go through this, that is part of the journey. But every moment we need to pull ourselves up. That is why Revered Daji said in one of his talks, he says, when I get up, I connect myself. When I go to the bathroom, I connect myself. When I'm eating, I'm connect myself. Does he really need to connect himself? But he's giving us guidance. He's giving us clues how to achieve that goal. So we have to connect ourselves. When the goal is fixed, the distance between the lover and the beloved is reduced, and the idea of remoteness begins to fade away. The idea of that the guide is far away from me fades away, and you start to feel the presence inside you. And every time the master transmits without your knowledge, you start to feel it. Our nearness goes on increasing up to the final limit, where the very feeling of aloofness, because this is all we all suffer. We all feel lonely, we all feel aloof, we feel like the guide has forgotten us, because we are only used to going to the physical presence of the master and his smile we remember. And when we come back, we are not in that physical presence. We feel insecure like a little child. But the truth of the matter is, wherever the baby is in the house, sleeping or walking, the mother's vision is on the child. One ear she is listening to her baby. So also the guide, who is the mother, is continuously, his consciousness is so spread out. When we fix our goal, we are connected to that consciousness. When our heart longs, it responds. Natural response. So our nearness goes on increasing up to the final limit, where the very feeling of aloofness, having merged with reality, becomes completely extinct and assumes the form of the latent motion that existed at the time of creation. So, when the creation happened, very near to the center was this latent motion which was receiving the vibrations, and that is where we all came from. And that latent motion exists within our own heart. That is why we are connected to the center. In this way, merging in the state becomes permanent and lasting. Our swimming in the infinite ocean now starts. So, what helps in achieving the goal? Will and determination, along with intense longing. It is thus clear that the firmness of will and determination to reach the goal helped us to arrive at the destination, with the result that we got firmly established in the final state. So Babaji Maharaj is saying, develop your will. How do we develop the will? Every time we do something that we are unable to do, our will develops. If I'm unable to get up and walk, if I walk, my will develops to that extent. If I'm able to walk 100 steps, my will develops. If I'm able to walk 10,000 steps, my will develops. So every time I'm able to do my meditation, my will develops. Every day I practice my cleaning, because I'm using my thought backed my willpower develops. So, for the attainment of the object, we have to create in us intense longing or extreme impatience, which forces our passage onto it, just as the latent motion did at the time of creation. So, it is almost akin to when the baby is ready to be born, there is a push from the mother and the baby is born. So also we have to have this inner push towards the goal. The action required to reach the goal is karma yoga. So what is karma yoga? Action. Revered Daji recently talked about head, heart, and hand. With the head, you make the will. With the heart, you have the longing. With your hand, you perform the action of meditation. So, a life without a goal is like a boat without a helm. The boat will not reach the destination without applying the helm in the direction it wants to go. You have to steer it. And it is our strong interest, longing, determination, along with willpower and confidence. So, how many qualities Babuji is asking us to have? First, you have to have the interest, you have to have the longing, and you have to fix your goal and make a determination. Yes, I will reach there, and have to have the willpower and have the confidence in the guide to navigate the current that are the obstacles on the way. There are many obstacles that come in the way. We should be able to shun them, and we are tested before we can let go of certain weaknesses. And this action taking to reach the goal is the true karma yoga. It is not in doing the physical yoga that karma yoga lies. Karma yoga lies in taking action to reach the ultimate divine state. What is jnana yoga and the goal? The journey to attain subtler and subtler states requires a purposeful awareness and consciousness of where we are headed, and which is also called as jnana yoga. So the true jnana yoga is a purposeful awareness. A 360-degree awareness is what the guru has. Our awareness is not so strong, but with every meditation, what is happening to us? We are becoming aware of that sacred presence within ourselves. And as we meditate with a purpose, this awareness expands and this consciousness expands, which is what true jnana yoga is, true knowledge is. But having the knowledge itself is not enough. It is not enough that we have the directions. We have to get into that car and steer the car to move forward. So we enlighten ourselves with the knowledge in order to do things, but it has no significance without being put to use. When we keep our goal in view, our efforts are intensified enough to ensure success. That's why Babaji Maharaj says, when we fix our thought on our goal, thought itself becomes intention. What is an intention? Thought backed by will is intention in a prayerful way. Thought backed by will with humbleness becomes an intention. And when we fix our thought on our goal, thought itself becomes intention, powered by our interest and longing, and that helps pave the way to it. And this is what is head and the will. Enthusiasm with love and devotion is Bhakti Yoga. And enthusiasm is the ingredient that creates the vitality and passion that develops in a seeker to continue on the journey towards the goal. Recently, Revered Daji said, without passion, you cannot reach the goal. What is this passion? Is this passion for mundane things? It is the passion for divinity, passion for your goal. That, yes, I want to be transformed. I want to discover that new you, the new me inside me, that self realization. I really, truly want to become that. I truly want to experience that humbleness. I truly want to let go of this ego that has become a big rock on my path. I submit, I surrender, make efforts, long for it. So, this is also known as love and devotion or bhakti yoga. The longing of the heart is the bhakti yoga, and everything combined together. When we train our mind to come into that stillness, the ultimate thing that takes us to the goal is the Raja Yoga. But they have to be backed up by the action, by the knowledge, by the longing of the heart, and then the mind that comes into that absolute silence and pure seeing Is able to perceive divinity, is able to see the path clearly. And as we see the divine fragrance, our head automatically bows down. And without this bowing down, you cannot move in the mind region. So, what is the connection between the prayer and fixing the goal? Prayer and the fixing the goal are intricately connected. In prayer, you utilize the tool of humbleness, and by humbleness you create a vacuum, and from that vacuum, with longing, knowing that goal is that absolute mergence with that absolute ultimate, we establish a connection with the consciousness of the living guide, and through him to the ultimate source. Because up to heart region we can travel, but beyond that it is the grace of the guide who transmits, who is convinced with the earnestness of the disciple, will make you move forward. And so that is why in our prayer we say, thou art the only God and power, because the Guru is empowered with the power to pull us up. So prayer and fixing the goal are intricately connected, and we establish a connection with the source when we practice the prayer. When we offer prayer before meditation, a deep cry from the bottom of the heart, that has the power to summon the source towards us. A deep cry from the heart makes the mountain move towards us, make the divine come towards us. So, fixing the goal is a conscious process of keeping that connection alive. So, that is why every morning we connect our heart to the consciousness of our Guru, the cosmic heart of the living guide. Consciously we connect. So, fixing the goal is a conscious process of keeping that connection alive and allowing it to be enlivened more and more. What is this enlivening? Enlivening is keeping the flame alive. What do you do to keep the flame alive? You add oil. And what is this oil? Is your thought with longing and love. So when goal is foremost in our mind, all other things drop off and lose their intensity. Everything else in our lives is absorbed with in this central longing. So whatever is happening, you are focused on your goal. You never take your eye away on the goal. And that is why in one of the stories from Raja Janak, a sage sends his son to him to learn, and the kid gets very upset. What can I learn from this king? He's all in his luxuries, as we call it. How can this man who is involved in the material world teach me something? Was the arrogance, the ego of the child. And the king says, take this lamp or a pot, put it on your head. I would like you to go see my entire city and come back, report to me. But only one rule, that pot should not fall. If it falls, your head is chopped off. So the kid goes around the town, comes back, and the king asks him, what did you see? He says, I didn't see anything. Why? Oh, but you said if the pot falls, my head gets chopped off. So my focus was on my goal. So when we are focused on the goal, only then we reach it. When we are focused on the goal, we see nothing except the goal. So reflecting on this Maxim 3, principle 3, fix your goal to be one with the absolute. Ask our heart, have we done that? And what will motivate us to inspire us to fix our goal? Write it down in your diary. What is going to inspire me? What is it that I truly want? And do we have the needed knowledge to fix my goal? Am I able to study the teachings of the great master? Do I take time to read the teachings of the great master? And do we have enough devotion and passion to reach my goal? Ask my heart. And do we have the ability to perform the action, the tapas, the heat of love for divinity, and meditate to reach our goal? And this is our challenge, our challenge for this week to introspect and see and understand, have I fixed my goal? What is my goal? And am I able to do things that can take me forward towards this goal? So, next week we will understand the fourth maxim. Let us now meditate for a little bit. Welcome to one and all. Close your eyes softly. Take a deep breath and let go. Feel grounded to the earth. Feel the healing energy from the Mother Earth enter into your being. And begin with relaxing your toes, feet, ankles, and your legs. Be aware of your legs. Relax your legs. Take a deep breath and let go gently. Feel the energy flow into your knees, into your thighs, into your hips. Feel firmly grounded in the seat. Feel the free flow of energy flowing there, relaxing you. Take another deep breath and let go. Feel the energy flow into your lower back and into your upper back. Relax your entire back. Keeping your spine erect. Bring your awareness to your stomach muscles. Feel the energy flow there. Take a deep breath and let go gently. Feel the energy flow into your chest. Relax your chest. Bring your awareness to your fingers. Feeling the energy, relax your fingers, palm, wrists, lower arms, elbows, and upper arms. Feel the free flow of energy flowing in your hands, relaxing your hands. Take another deep breath and let go. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Feel the stress melting away. Relax your shoulders. Consciously relax your neck, jaws. Relax your tongue. Relax your facial muscles. Deeply relax your eyes, eyebrows, temples, and forehead. Feel your brain is resting. Your mind is calm. Your body is completely relaxed. Bring your awareness to your heart. Feel your heart. Enter your sacred space. Bring yourself to a state of humbleness in prayer. Make the intention your heart is filled with love. Where the heart beats, know the source of light is present within you. The light from the source is illuminating your entire being. Your mind is drawn to this light. Your mind is resting in the light. The ocean of light, the ocean of love is in you. You are a drop submerged in that ocean. Rest in the light. Let's meditate. That's all. Feel the calmness spread throughout your being. From this place of calmness, make the intention. All my senses are in a state of balance. They have arrived at their original character. All my feelings are in silence. All the chakras in my system are in a state of balance. They are in harmony with each other. Every cell in my being is absorbing the silence. Feel the calmness spread throughout your being. You may open your eyes when you are ready. Thank you all for joining this session. We will hope to see you all next week. The intention about all my senses are in a state of balance. They have arrived at their original character. And all my feelings are in silence. It was given by Babuji Maharaj in his autobiography. And he states that by practicing the technique, we even let go of undue attachments, even to the Guru. And we truly get connected to his inner state of being. So, thank you all for joining. Have a beautiful day. And we are grateful to our Heartfulness community channel for providing this opportunity. If you like to email us for the PowerPoint or anything, write to social media at volunteer.heartfulness.org. That address is scrolling down on the window here. Thank you.